Good evening, everyone. Not going to waste any time getting into this. Just made that weekly outlook, so I don't think we need to really get into this very much, this bigger picture. Let's go into the futures market, and you can see so far still no trade above that open on the NASDAQ on the left there, and no trade above the ES either, that open at 43.15 there. Instead, it looks like we're starting to actually turn down. So until we get a break of that open, I would be hesitant getting long. Let's go into what I'm looking for tomorrow. Wow, look at this chart full of colors and all sorts of stuff. Uh, let's get into it. How can I delete this little level first? Uh, there we go. I want to be short for the most part. Uh, Mondays are unlikely to surpass that prior week's second standard deviation of VWAP, the weekly VWAP. So that means being short around 429-ish, right around that weekly close kind of number. I just that'd be kind of the short area, a short interest area. You got a level somewhere around here as well. Just a level of interest. This kind of 429-ish number we saw it respecting on Friday, both around the afternoon there and then around that 2 p.m. going into power hour. So I'm interested in being short here. Currently, if we look at futures, we are trading, maybe going to a 5-minute chart, it's a little clearer. There's this low, that afternoon pullback. The overnight high sitting kind of at that 1140 candle low. So if we go to the 1140 candle low over here, we're trading kind of below all this inventory. So we are in an area where, let's say we did open somewhere around here, we would be opening above, you'd be opening, of course, well over yesterday's open. You'd also be opening above settlement highs over here from this Thursday session. You'd be opening above Wednesday's highs, but Thursday's highs, that settlement highs, would be opening way over settlement lows, those Thursday lows. You'd be opening above settlement open, settlement close, all sorts of stuff. So you'd be opening above a bunch of bullish structure, in other words. However, these individuals would be offside. So even if we do end up breaking the overnight low tomorrow, which would give me a bit of a downside bias, just the fact that we're opening above so many key structural levels would make me imagine we don't get some sort of crazy sell-off. Bonds are closed tomorrow, and bonds are closed tomorrow, and we do have this Israel news that's occurred, this conflict. So any sort of trades that I'm going to be taking are going to be heavily dependent on how the first 15, 30 minutes look. I'm not going to just be blindly trading the statistics or the market structure of this or that. We probably be dealing with a thin book with news. That's price action might just be too erratic. But in general, I want to be short somewhere above here. If we break the overnight lows, I want to be short somewhere around here as well. Here's that Monday high, which set the tone for the entire week. And if we lose this area, this is the main area I'm interested in. Maybe I should just take off everything and just draw it out like this. This to me is your critical over under. You have Wednesday's high. Sorry, where's the Wednesday high? Wednesday's high somewhere here. Yeah, there you go. Wednesday's high up here. Thursday's high over here. This is where we have an auction that results in a mega breakout. You have the monthly open somewhere around here, I think, as well. Sorry, monthly opens up there. You have your VWAP close there. That is the zero number VWAP close from last week. So all of this sort of stuff. This looks like a critical level in general. You have all these highs. You have this auction that results in a breakout. So, in my opinion, if you get back below here, this thing ends up being a sell instead. I think would get into the weekly point of control, last month's low, yesterday's open, and perhaps even sell down further to the weekly lows there, the current low of the month. NASDAQ, let's get into that. Where are you? There we are. Similar story. Not all too different. I want to be short. Yeah, 5-minute chart's fine. I want to be short again above that second standard deviation of last week's VWAP up into those highs of the week, and then down here perhaps we can catch some bids, but I don't know. Once again, I think instead what will happen is we'll likely lose these lows, and now you're capped inside of not last week's range, but the week before that's range. You'll be capped below those highs, perhaps even getting below here, and then this becomes the critical area to hold. The monthly close, monthly open, the zero on VWAP, the weekly point of control, settlement highs, all that sort of crap. This is a huge zone. Just like we had two auctions here, one auction, two auctions to break these highs. This Thursday high, this Wednesday high, and this Wednesday afternoon high, and these critical lows. So this becomes the critical area for the Nasdaq to hold. And I discussed this in the higher time frames. It's roughly kind of the midway point of this multi-day balance. It's kind of 358.5 area. Again, kind of around here, monthly open, monthly close, zero on the VWAP, all that sort of stuff. If we lose that, I think we end up selling down below these levels. I think we get into yesterday's open and probably break it and probably end up gunning for this prior weekly low, this sort of area around here. And maybe, I doubt we'd end up breaking this level, but I do think we could very well take away all of Friday's gains. So, and of course, we're dealing with the same structure. Opening above yesterday's open, settlement close, settlement open, settlement highs, settlement lows. We're opening above all that crap, probably, unless we have a huge move by the Euros in about 3-4 hours when they open. But in general, I don't think we're going to extend beyond, kind of roughly last week's highs on either the Nasdaq or the S&P around here. So the best case scenario currently is we take out the overnight highs, we get into sort of a gap closey area around 43.43, and that ends up being a short off of around 41-ish, 41 to the high of the week. That ends up being a short. And then the best case scenario is we diddle around, we hold these auctions from yesterday afternoon that I mentioned and hold these highs like we are currently, and that'd be about it. The worst case scenario is we break those overnight lows, lose these auctions, and break the opens, break the lows, get into last week's lows, break all these daily lows we've had accumulating. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, all these lows end up getting ran. Get into that yearly VWAP on the S&P, on the SPY. 419 and 3/4. Anyway, hope that makes sense. In general, I don't think I'm going to trade tomorrow. I will look at how this thing opens up. If we do, I'll be short biased again Monday. I just doubt that we end up running all these highs. I'll be short biased if I trade at all. And this is the critical area to hold, kind of 358.5 on the Qs, and on the SPY, 424.5 to 25.5, let's call it. Hope that makes sense. Hope that helps. Have a great night if you're trading this thing. If you want to take the gap close long, in my personal opinion, I'd be waiting for us to start trading above the open, 43.15 on the Nasdaq. That is pretty much the overnight high, 15,040. Until then, this thing is bleeding downwards, looking worse on the Nasdaq. Maybe we get some bids around 14,900, but again, I'd be careful trading it to the long side until we get bids above the open. Hope that helps. Have a great night and trade safe.